Every time.
You're not even in your seat.
That gets me. Sorry, I'm coming. I know. I'm coming. Woohoo! Yeah. There we go. Sorry, Brandon.
Hello.
Good evening, and welcome back to it's. I don't say the thing. I say I'm Jay Ryan. I'm coming to you from Los Angeles. That's Brandon.
Yes, welcome to a Blockbuster Year 1985. Tonight we are talking about the fantastic film Clue, the movie. Let's pop in the tape.
Whew. All right. Now we can settle in.
Jay is seated. We can start the show.
Yeah. Our viewers don't know what's going on here, but I'm very happy to have a wall next to me. It's been a day.
Yeah, let's talk about it. You had a hole in your wall this afternoon. You sent me a video of it.
Yep.
And I'm just glad that it was all patched up and you got the studio back together so we could record tonight.
Yeah. Some of the what would you call them? Acoustic squares are just sort of thumbtacked in for now to keep the illusion alive.
Exactly.
But yeah, there was if you don't know, there was a leak. Our studio somehow was raining on the unit below us, and that's not good for anybody. So we needed to remedy that. But unfortunately, we have a live show for Late Night Play Set here at the original Letterman set on Tuesdays, and so between last night's live show and tonight's live show for a Blockbuster Year, it was a lot. It's been a lot. It was one of those, you ever take a shower in the afternoon, like halfway through your day because you couldn't do it in the morning or whatever, and everything's just a little bit off?
Yeah, your timing is a little bit different. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you're clean, but you feel like you have a funk. It's like traveling.
Yeah.
It's like traveling.
Yeah.
And then the first time listening to the weird science in the intro, because I wasn't watching, I was just listening, I heard him say, they went from zeros to heroes in one weekend. And that's how I felt with you when we were up in Astoria with the rest of our little gang.
Totally, 100%. We are the heroes.
I'll settle down in a second.
It's all good. Tonight we're talking about the movie Clue. And for the first time, we have a guest on a Blockbuster Year 1985. This gentleman is a cosplayer. He is a prop builder. He is a podcaster in himself. He's a toy tuber. And most importantly, he's one of my best friends. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Steve3, our first guest to a Blockbuster Year.
Nice. And let's see if I can do this right, Steve3. I think I've got this. Oh, jeez. Nope. In case you weren't
Thanks
sure what the name of the show was.
You get your own intro music. It happens to be the same intro music, but a guest get intro music now.
I thought it was different. I got to admit, I thought it was slightly different.
No, it's sorry to burst your bubble. It's the exact same thing.
Well, thanks for having me.
You are special. You are the first guest. I know that you're a big fan of this movie, so I wanted to have you on the show.
Yeah, it was great to watch it again. I do enjoy watching it every time I watch it. I don't seem to get bored of watching it.
No, I feel the exact same way. I mean, it's kind of letting the cat out of the bag at the beginning of the show, but I really think we all would say that we love this movie.
Yeah, I would say it's a strong contender for a top 5. I know you score it at. Yeah, it's yeah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
And Jay, how do you feel about Clue?
Well, we'll get to the rating at the end, right? But I obviously enjoyed it. I mean, I grew up with it just like, well, I actually grew up with it, maybe more like Steve. Brandon, you're a little bit younger, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I was, what would I be? -7. I was -7 when Clue came out. Actually, I'm -7 for all of these movies we're covering.
That's what I was going to say.
Blanket statement.
It's going to be the same every single episode.
it's always funny to me how Brandon is just so addicted to the older movies of someone that's grown up with other movies of different calibers, how these ones you gravitate to. And I'm sure you've explained before, it's probably to do with how they were made back in the day versus, what you get now, right? So
you want? I think I may have talked about this. I don't know if I actually talked about it on this show, but maybe Jay's other show. I actually credit all of my love for movies and especially these 80s movies to my grandparents. My grandparents actually were people that bought lots of movies. So whenever I went to go visit my grandma's, they always had tons and tons of VHS tapes. So it was always like, okay, we're going to grandma's. Well, what movies am I going to watch? And it got to a point where there was a lot of the same ones that I was watching. My grandma Norma, she had all the Mr. Bean tapes, and I would just watch Mr. Bean on repeat. My grandma Jane had a whole bunch of Disney movies and older movies, and I would just watch them. So that is what led me to love older films, and then it just expanded into I just loved movies growing up. But big part of it was my grandparents, and then even my family. We were a buy movies family. We had a large movie collection growing up, and then now I still maintain that heritage, and I have a large movie collection.
I'll say.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Brandon, by the way. For me, it was my parents were going through a divorce roughly this time or a year or two before, and it seemed like going to the movies with really either parent sort of put a pause on all of that. So like the escape of whatever these movies brought me back when I was a kid, I must still tap into that to this day. I mean, that's why we probably got so emotional up at the Goonies. Yeah, it's a great movie. Yeah, it was fun for us all to be together. But for me, it was something deeper.
Oh, yeah. It was life. Goonies is life, man.
Yeah.
Goonies is life. It was our growing up. It was our adventure every weekend, right? But we're not talking about that tonight.
Nope.
No, but it is the right air. What about you, Steve? What about your love of movies?
It's hits me in the nostalgia feels, and I feel it's the same way. And a lot of the movies that, for me, it was after the paper round. So I do my paper round on the school holidays, and you get up early and you go and deliver all the papers around the neighborhood, and you come back and you'd be wide awake at the crack of dawn. And then I would just stick on a VHS. I would stick on a movie, and this is where I would relentlessly watch The Cannibal Run or Police Academy or all of these movies that would just stay with me forever until this day. So that was when I did a lot of my watching. But it wasn't so much the whole movie all the way through that gets me. There's certain parts about movie that just makes me want to go out and then get that movie, which is why I'm enjoying going around and getting all the physical media I can now for movies that suddenly come back into my life again and I need them. Yeah. So that was a good one for Clue, because a DVD of Clue isn't as good as a 4K rendition of it with all the additional extras, right? Yeah. So,
I mean, like, whoa, I caught that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, physical media has always been a huge part of my life, and we'll get into it, but this home video version of Clue was the first time that people saw all of the multiple endings.
The triple end. That's what I was going to ask. Actually, was when you first watched it, was obviously going to be on videotape, so you wouldn't have known. You wouldn't have been in the cinema to watch it and just get one ending, because they decided to just do one ending per cinematic release.
Yeah.
In hindsight, that doesn't even sound like a good idea.
Right. Let's say we'll talk about that a little bit later, but let's just do a little bit of production for Clue. So, or let's hit the chat real quick.
Well, I'm just throwing them up there if you don't mind, just so we don't forget.
Yeah, I don't want to get too far behind. I saw Allie. Allie's watching. Ryan. Hi, Ryan. Ryan's got a show in a few minutes. He does his own live show on Wednesday nights, Gotham City Tonight.
Of course, we're having
right now. Wife likes.
Oh no.
Yeah, no joke. It just, of course, water this morning. Power. Oh, now we're back on, and I don't think we lost the live feed, so maybe the chat can tell us. Hopefully, we're still here. Okay.
I think we're still here.
Okay.
I think we're good.
Oh, good. The wall is back. Yeah, there's somebody who watches both shows. Renee, hi.
Renee, lovely Renee.
Dan McGinnis, peace to you. Oh, you know what? This is not the night
Hi,
for
Barbara.
this, but I watched Ghostbusters 2 the other day, and I realized something for the first time. I don't think they're saying 2 for sequel. I think they're saying peace, as in it's against good versus evil. And it takes the goodwill and the peace at the end.
Well, jot that down for a Blockbuster Year 1989.
I'm gonna.
We'll get to that.
Thanks, Brandon, for keeping me in line.
Hi, Renee.
Ryan Dole. Because he's here on the show live.
Yes.
Okay, well, these mostly just hellos.
Great. Thank you, everybody, for being here live. We really appreciate it. It's fun for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the new podcast. Says, "Hey, weirdos, weirdo, you are welcome."
Thank you. They're a local couple. They have a YouTube channel. Check them out.
Oh, love it.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. I saw that. Actually, Hey Weirdos is going to be a guest on Steve's podcast tomorrow. So we'll make
awesome.
sure we'll plug that at the end of the show.
Sweet.
So let's get into some production stuff real quick. So Clue obviously came out in 1985. It was made by Paramount Pictures. It was originally created, or I guess the idea was brought by producer Deborah Hill. Deborah Hill is very famous for writing and producing the early Halloween movies with John Carpenter. She also did the Escape from New York, Escape from New York, Escape from LA, and she actually produced Big Top Pee-wee. She was the one who let Paul Rubens have full control for his sequel. And
which, by the way, even though I don't love that movie, I maintain is a good move by her because he had
100%.
proven himself at that point.
Yes, 100%. Deborah Hill apparently was able to purchase the rights from Parker Brothers for $0 for Clue, which I think is interesting.
$0 up front, and then there was a back end deal.
Yes, there was some back end and stuff.
Obviously, you can tell I got to the documentary today.
Oh yeah. So for those who love the movie Clue, there is I don't know if it's free for everybody or if it's free for YouTube Premium subscribers, but there is a documentary on YouTube called Who Done It.
Not in the U.S. If you're in the U.S., it's unavailable in this country. The link you sent me.
Oh, really?
But luckily, it was available on Amazon Prime, which we had. So
okay, it wasn't available on Amazon Prime for me. So in the U.S., there's a Clue documentary on Amazon Prime, and in Canada, it's available on YouTube. And it's okay. It's a bit amateur, but there's lots of interesting information in it. So it was actually John Landis who was one of the early sort of people to carry the torch from Deborah Hill, and was connected to finding writers and was going to direct Clue. It went through a whole bunch of writers, and at one like a random Anthony Perkins from Psycho, like Norman Bates, took a pass at the Clue script /
Stephen Sondheim
with Stephen Sondheim, and ultimately they landed, after a whole set of 5 or so writers, they landed with a bloke from England, jolly old England, Steve, named Jonathan Lynn, who was brought in because he was a playwright, he was a director.
I don't even know if he was a director. The truth, I mean, he was a playwright and a sitcom writer, as I recall.
Theater director.
Okay.
I mean,
he definitely done theater.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he done theater, but I think it was her that brought him in as well, and it was her that said that you can get your first role here as a director.
Yeah, so it was John Landis. John Landis ended up giving it to Jonathan Lynn because John Landis left the directing role to go and make Spies Like Us the same year, 1985, and another film we'll eventually cover on this podcast.
Doctor,
and Doctor.
I love it.
And that's why
and Doctor.
And that's why the film has a story by credit from John Landis. He kind of acted as an original idea man. And I don't think he actually has a producing credit.
He does. But I would say this. I think that movie probably still got made because John Landis was attached. I don't know. It wouldn't have been the Clue that we all know if John Landis didn't get it where it got.
Yeah,
I believe.
That for sure. I mean, he was a proven name in 1985.
But it would be very interesting to see what that movie would have been if he directed it, because it would have been
completely different.
Yeah.
And one of the things is I think the theatrical background of Jonathan Lynn really helped 100%. His direction of the actors in the film, because the movie is so theatrical. Like it has been developed into a stage play. The screenplay was developed into a stage play, but there's just something that you can't really teach when it comes to blocking in a big space like that was the Clue set. And he did have to learn like where to place the camera and working with all the department heads, the cinematographer, who we should talk about as well. But a big strong point of the film is blocking out those 6 characters running from room to room and making everything interesting throughout the course of the movie, because in the grand scheme of things, it literally is 6 adults running into each room, running around to different rooms. So that could get boring real quick.
It was go, 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 go.
Yes.
It was like you mentioned, it is like watching theater live, but in a movie. And it's got that slap and tickle, as I call it. It's like pantomime. It's like theater. It's so well done. And I think it was because he would rehearse for weeks before he would actually shoot.
Yes. So famously, they did rehearse on a version of the set for 2 weeks before they moved to the big fully dressed set to shoot the movie.
We're praising the blocking and all the physicality of it, but simultaneously is immense lines of dialogue.
Yeah,
the monologues that they were having to do in Tim Curry specifically in the middle of some of this running around stuff really blew my mind from a performance standpoint. Of it's a lot to tackle. Big swing, as they say. Big swing.
Yeah, and not to mention that when they were making the movie, the actors and production knew that there was going to be 3 separate endings to this film. So all of the actors are having to play their roles almost like ambiguously, so that it does line up to 3 separate endings where multiple different answers of who killed whom work out.
And this is a good point. This is the first movie with a multiverse. Because they all sort of have to live 3 different parallel worlds at the same time. Wow.
And that's the thing. He had to film it so that it would work. But you don't notice that he's doing that. So he had to take out certain characters from certain scenes without you knowing they were gone. Yeah. And I always know this, but every time I watch it for the first time in a while, I forget it. And I still don't notice that character's not there.
I was going to say the exact same thing.
You go back and watch it straight afterwards and you say, holy crap.
Yeah.
Genius, right? That person is not there, and it's almost like they show a clip of them before it cuts, so that they're constantly in your mind of the next scene where they don't even appear. It's incredible.
It would be interesting to just watch it right away, and think about that the entire way of watching the movie is trying to see who's in this scene, who's not in this scene, because
doing the math of it all.
Right. and writing it down and tracking and doing the math.
Because with the endings, they didn't even have the same person killing the same person, right?
Yes.
So they had to. I mean, to me, that's genius, and I think he should have got a lot more credit for it. Hence, why it should have had the triple ending. But there you go.
Gosh, you guys are making me rethink. I might have to add a star based on all of this. This is impressive. You're right.
But the dialogue was just. I don't think there was a stale actor. I don't think there was a stale character. I think every character had a very shiny bulb every time they were on the screen, and they're all in the same room. And I think it was only really Mr. Body who was very flat, but I don't know what his background is. But
one of the other things I learned from the documentary
Me too.
is so Mr. Body is played by Lee Ving, who is the lead singer of the punk band Fear. And
no idea.
that was a Paramount Pictures request.
Wow.
They wanted either Gene Simmons was somebody they talked about. They wanted a musician. They wanted somebody who would bring in a different group of people to the theater. So
they were looking for clicks in today's language. They wanted eyeballs.
Yeah, it's like casting a TikToker in a film now, right?
In my mind, though, it's the weakest. It did not work at all because even as a kid, I was like, Mr. Body sucks. He's so bad compared to everybody else in the movie, and he's also the only person who is like not of note in any way in my world. Turns out he's a superstar from Fear.
Yes, exactly.
And one of the most classic SNL moments of all time, too.
That's exactly what I was going to say. The only thing I really know Lee Ving from is that Fear performance.
The censored Fear performance, right.
Yes, that ended up getting him banned from the show, and it was under John Belushi's request. He fought hard to get Fear to be a musical act on SNL, so...
Because he was either friends with him or a big fan or something, right?
He was a fan. John Belushi was a fan of the band. But you're right, especially compared to every other person in that film, and trust me, we're going to talk about those people because they're incredible.
It's one of the best casts I've ever seen.
Lee Ving really falls flat compared to the incredible talent that they had in this film. And go ahead, Jay.
Well, one other thing about Lee Ving that I didn't know was that another thing that always stuck out to me was he didn't seem to match the voice. And it turns out they did overdub his voice, but why? Anybody know why?
I think it was probably because he didn't enunciate enough. He was probably mumbling all the way through it, Okay. And so
because I don't think it's not his voice. It's not somebody else, is what you're saying. You're just saying he just re-recorded his dialogue is what you picked up on?
Well, I thought in the documentary they said that they dubbed in somebody's voice, somebody who sounded like Joe Mantegna but wasn't Joe Mantegna, was what the documentary said. And then that made sense to me because it never sort of lined up. Why not? It's only glass. I don't know. It didn't come from it. You know what? As a kid, you sense what's inauthentic. And as a kid, it was inauthentic compared to the rest of what was before me.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they had to ADR.
Clean up some of his dialogue.
Well, that would be, at least if it's ADR, then it's probably him versus not another actor.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. You'd have to Google that one.
Yeah. Well, I do remember the Joe Mantegna bit in the documentary. I forgot what it was in connection to, but I do remember that bit. So maybe I have to revisit that again.
And then did anybody else ever, I mean, I didn't put it together until watching it as an adult that Mr. Body is the body. I'm so stupid. I never put it together.
But that's directly from the game, right?
Yeah.
That's who dies in the board game. In fact, Jonathan Lynn, the writer and director, the first thing he started with was just the board game. And he wrote an outline of the film, making sure he hit all of the rooms and knew where the secret passages were and knew that he had to hit every single room in the mansion. And it works. I know we're talking about the actors, but that set is incredible.
Yeah, the house is one of the characters in the movie for me.
100%. Yeah.
A lot of work went into that.
I really honestly always thought it could have been a real house because the richness and the tones of the set were so good that I thought it could have been a real Tudor someplace.
Yeah. Well, we're talking that movie is fully a set. All of the rooms except for the ballroom. The ballroom is the only room that they couldn't fit on the sound stage, and so they had to go to an actual manor and
location.
Shoot that Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet scene where she's scared that someone is hiding behind the curtain.
Yeah, with the piano in the corner.
Yes, that was an actual location. That was the only room that didn't exist on the set.
Do we know where that was? Someplace local, I'm guessing.
No, but I didn't look into that. But yeah, I bet you that could easily be identified.
Well, the soundstage that they built, the main, I guess, all of the house on was the same soundstage that they used for Rear Window.
Yes, it's Paramount's largest soundstage. So the Alfred Hitchcock film Rear Window, famously has like full-scale apartment buildings built in this set. Jimmy Stewart isn't.
Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, Jimmy Stewart is famously watching the buildings from across while he's stuck in a wheelchair with his broken leg. And when you look out of Jimmy Stewart's window, there is a full apartment building with a garden, and all this action happens. And it's this incredibly massive soundstage. And so that's the same soundstage. I'm doing it too, Steve. Soundstage that they built the manor from Clue in.
I worked at Paramount for many, many years on Everybody Hates Chris specifically. We used 17 and 18, and our production offices were in the building in between. It used to be the property building with property and wardrobe. They knocked it all, whatever. They made it into offices and stuff. But while our main set was 17, our main, the school and the house and everything was on 17, we would use 18 all the time for swing sets when there wasn't a big feature in there. And the old school people who worked at Paramount would always talk about how 18 was not only the biggest soundstage on the lot or whatever, but it's the only soundstage, I think in Hollywood, definitely only at Paramount, that has a basement. And the basement was dug out, indeed, for Rear Window because of those massive sets.
Okay.
And Jimmy Stewart was actually more at street level, but because of the courtyard and everything else, they dug out a basement. To this day, they put a floor back in, and the underside is storage, which we used for all our set dressing and stuff. But a lot of big movies with multi-tiered, like a Goonies. If you want to flood your soundstage, you use the Goonies stage.
Speaking of that, I did misspeak. You're right. It is stage 18 at Paramount. At Warner Brothers, it's stage 16. That's the big stage, and that's where the pirate ship from Goonies. So I did misspeak. Yeah, stage 18.
Oh no, I think
Paramount
you did it right.
Was Clue.
Yeah, I think you did it right, but it was neat to work on that soundstage. And then when we were there, they also used it for Mission Impossible 3 and maybe 4, and Charlie Wilson's War with Tom Hanks. Any big, massive movie, they kind of request it. It's also known from Sunset Boulevard, where the stage door on the side. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille, and the stage door on the side. It's also stage 18.
Yeah, recently at a Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, we got to go into, I cannot remember the number, but it's where they originally shot the first Universal Monster movies, but it also is the T-Rex attack soundstage from Jurassic Park.
Oh, 747, behind the clock tower.
No. This is right down the hill when you're coming on the tram tour, and it's like the first soundstage you see.
On the left, then that's stage 12, and that's the biggest one in Universal.
Yeah, that's the one.
Right. Yeah,
stage
12.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, so
that would have been all of the Jurassic Park. Whenever they're in the jungle, they did that all inside, and it was in stage 12, including Back to the Future 2 and 3 used it for the Lion Estates, out in the middle of the farm with the billboard.
The
they did that all interior on stage 12.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
When it's raining and Mr. McFly, what's his name, Joe Flaherty comes out. That was when he's coming and approaching from really far away. It's actually a golf cart all the way against the stage wall.
No way!
So that it can be a little smaller.
I've never heard that.
And then when if you look at it again now that I told you, you can totally tell the way the rain falls. This is clearly blacktop indoors.
Yes. As soon as you said that, I can picture it in my mind, and now it feels like a set.
Yeah.
Until I actually thought about it, it feels exterior. But now that I really knowing that it's in a set, I can picture it. It's definitely a set.
Yep.
And that's incredible. Goonies is one thing because they put that huge pirate ship with all the caves around it inside a building, all of the jungle stuff from Jurassic Park inside a building, and then they built this entire manor, this mansion, this New England mansion in this soundstage. It's incredible. And just the playground for these actors, right?
Yeah.
The entranceway was gorgeous. The main front door with the green marble, it was gorgeous.
Yes. Well, and even that driveway was in the soundstage as well with the dogs and where they park all the cars and
wow.
Yeah.
And you know about the cars, right, Brandon? I'm sure you probably got it in your notes.
What about the cars?
Didn't they color code the cars to the characters' pseudonyms?
Of course.
So Colonel Mustard had a yellow car. Miss Scarlet had a.
Oh, I've never picked up on that. I haven't heard.
That makes so much sense.
And because I loved the way they introduced them in the beginning, it was so clever. You automatically just give them their pseudonym straight away.
Yeah.
And it made sense.
But they're not dressed in their colors of their name, but it would be cool that the cars are.
But the cars were apparently.
Yeah, it's all dark, so yeah, I'll have to check that out again.
Yeah, but good point, Gannon Appleby. A very well balanced cast. No one was more important than the rest.
Let's continue to talk about the cast, because we've talked about. Unfortunately, don't come after me leaving, but we've talked about the weakest cast member. Let's talk about the best cast member.
Oof! Good luck.
Well, is that in our opinion, Brandon, or?
Sure. I mean, if you have a different opinion, we're going to boot you off this show.
Well, I mean, this is tough because it's. I mean, all right. Who did the best? What do you? Okay, I say Tim Curry just because of the sheer scale 100%. And amount of work he had to do in the movie.
Yeah. Oh, by far, Tim Curry is the star, the
MVP.
MVP. Kind of what makes this movie break through to the next level, because everybody else is great. They all have their own strengths, and I love a lot of them for their own separate things. But the amount of work that Tim Curry had to do in this film, just dialogue, energy, just honestly remembering where he was in what ending or leading up to what ending it's incredible. It's something to be celebrated for sure.
It was almost like fight choreography at one point as well, you know, when he's reenacting everything at the end and pulling people down and tripping them up and lifting them up, and it was almost like it was so well done. He was just so energetic with the way he portrayed his character. It's amazing.
And that's why you needed that 2 weeks of rehearsal to nail all of that stuff, to make it like a dance, like fight choreography, right?
I go back to the theater, like you guys were saying. That's, such a theatrical thing to get together and rehearse and block for weeks and weeks and get the camaraderie going with the ensemble, so that everyone, trust falls and all of the, the stuff that you do.
Yeah.
I guess probably features do sometime, but I would say generally they don't allow for the time. And I think it totally pays off, and you get to see it in the movie. Even though they're strangers, they all interplay so well.
Yeah, a film has to request, and it has to be like a director or somebody who wants to rehearse. Like another film that off the top of my head, a more modern one, is the Danny Boyle Steve Jobs movie. All of that was rehearsed, partially because it's like long continuous takes,
right,
for each section of the Steve Jobs life. But a big part of the success and the acting success in that film comes from the rehearsal and the comfortability and just being able to throw away the lines is incredible, especially in something like Clue, being so fast paced. You can't jumble over your words, or you can't cut back and forth as much, right?
I think it was an instruction from the director that there was absolutely no ad-libbing because of the intricate way he had to film it.
Yes.
And everything had to make sense, that they were said, look, no ad-lib.
Yeah. At all. And the film is filled with incredible comedians who can come up with great lines. I mean, famously, one did slip through, but that's because it's so funny. It's the Madeline Kahn Flames.
I hate her so
much. It's flames on the side of my face.
The crew from Late Night Place that stayed late so we could watch that last night. Yeah. Everybody erupted in laughter at that part. It was it was just explosive because we did not expect it, and even I forgot. It was so good. It made me love her so much. And what's
great about it too is that because it is an improv, it actually is like a departure from the tone of the film up until this point. It sticks out so much more because it has a different energy to it.
It's got that not Albert Brooks, the Mel Brooks energy that she would have exhibited in those movies.
Exactly, right? And I think that's part of the reason. It's funny, but because it's a different look and feel, I think that's part of the reason why it's so memorable and sticks out in almost everybody's mind.
There was another scene she did as well where I think they were all shouting at each other or something, and she almost did like Steve Carell's loud noises in Anchorman. She just starts going, ah, He just lets out this sound that makes no sense for anything. Yeah, genius.
Yeah,
she was. So
well,
good.
I mean, is there anything else we want to talk about Tim Curry? Does anybody else have any like?
Well, he wasn't the first choice. That was a thing. It's
no,
like they were kind of trying to push certain actors onto him, I believe. I know that he wanted Rowan Atkinson, that you mentioned earlier, Mr. Bean.
Yes.
He wanted Rowan Atkinson, but because no one had ever really worked or even heard of him in the States.
He was obviously more well known at that time in the UK.
Yeah.
And so Clue is obviously 1985. Mr. Bean didn't come out until 1990.
Yeah.
Right. So Rowan Atkinson is known in the UK, but he is not known in America whatsoever. So they basically
just an actor. He's not Mr. Bean.
Exactly. He's just a comic actor.
For me, he was always Blackadder before he was Mr. Bean.
Yeah. I don't know when Blackadder actually started. And I feel like Blackadder probably had made its way to the States. But I don't think people were watching it, and it wasn't the juggernaut that Mr. Bean was in America. And then the other one that they were talking about was John Cleese.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were talking about John Cleese for the role of Wadsworth, which could have worked. I don't think it's quite the same, but it could have worked.
Yeah, it would have been great. Just a different movie again.
Yes, I think he would have been a lot more. He probably would have played it like a lot more pompous. John Cleese is. I mean, I guess it's Fawlty Towers, right?
Yeah.
Basil
Fawlty.
Basil Fawlty. Yeah. I guess I mean, he's wearing a very similar cut suit in Fawlty Towers as well. So I guess you could picture Basil Fawlty running around the Clue Manor.
Yeah, but. I just can't.
No, I know.
It's probably my favorite Tim Curry performance, and I know that other people would disagree with that, but I just think he did such good work in it. And the fact that it's not really a character, you can't rely on the makeup and whatever else.
Yeah.
Like some of the other films.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess we should just to put it out there, Tim Curry did play Pennywise the Clown in It. He's another film we'll cover this year, Legend. He plays Darkness, aka Satan. Both of those.
I think of Frankfurter.
Oh yeah, I guess obviously
Sexy
most people probably knew him.
transvestite in Transylvania.
Yes, sweet transvestite.
That's what it is, sweet transvestite.
And then, I mean, I grew up with Tim Curry in Home Alone 2. That was every year as the hotel. I guess he's a manager, or maybe he's concierge. But that's what I kind of knew Tim Curry as a child, then discovering Clue.
Now you've given me a reason to watch Home Alone 2.
Exactly. And Clue became my favorite Tim Curry movie after watching it for the first time. And he really is incredible. He is a champion at the end of this movie, running around explaining all of his deductions, explaining who killed who.
Yeah.
That was such a good one. I had that one written down on my highlights of
There are a couple that one, and what was when everybody else said, too late. Make a long story short, too late.
Too late. Good ones. Yeah. Right at the beginning, there's that great moment with him and Michael McKean where he's like, sit.
Yeah.
Not you, sir.
No, I don't know. Take it back to the beginning, and it's the dog poop on the shoe.
Yes,
that lasted all the way through the first hour of the movie.
Yes,
it was so good.
When everybody is checking their shoes and they're just smelling dog poop. It's so great. Tim Curry is an absolute legend. He is an incredible actor, and he himself has suffered some strokes. He's in a wheelchair now. But he's still with us. He's done conventions in the past, and he's just a real treat.
He did Monsterpalooza this year, or he's doing some of Monsterpalooza. Yeah, wow. He was a guest this year.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
an absolute legend, and I love the man. Like he's so great in everything that he does.
What's up, Dustin?
Hey, Dustin. should we move to Madeline Kahn? Because we were kind of talking about Madeline Kahn and the Flames moment. Madeline Kahn plays. Oh, there you go.
Perfect timing.
Kahn was perfect. Gannon says Kahn was perfect. Quiet but boisterous per usual. So Madeline Kahn plays Mrs. White. She has the famous flames on the side of her face moment. Madeline Kahn, I believe, is probably most famous from appearing in the Mel Brooks movies. That's where I knew her from.
For me too.
Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety. Anything else? Oh yeah, History of the World. Yes. Oh yeah. I have to revisit that one. I haven't seen that one in a long time.
Same.
And she's incredible. Like she is very, I don't know, like subdued, but just a hilarious woman.
In the documentary, Michael McKean describes her as slightly absent-minded, but she knew that about herself and loved that about herself, so she used it to her advantage, and that sounds like a lot of lovable people I know in my life.
Yeah, she has a great like what's that word they call it, like a repartee, like
repertoire. That's not the right word.
But she has that like that bout with Is it Colonel Mustard when he's like, how many husbands have you had? Mine or other women?
Or other people.
She's just so straight-faced all the time.
Yeah.
So straight-faced.
Yeah. She's incredible, and like it's just she is. If she was the only person in amongst the cast, she would stand out. But she is with all these incredible performers. Any other thoughts on Madeline Kahn? Because we got a lot of great people to go through, so I don't want to spend too much time on everybody.
Yeah, I found her delightful as usual.
Yeah, and Mrs. White wears black, but again, that is because all of the characters are their pseudonyms.
But what car did she arrive in, Brandon?
See, I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention. I was too excited about getting into Clue and everybody.
In the documentary, they talked to the wardrobe guy, the costume supervisor, who said that they weren't allowed to match the colors to the names. So what he did was tried to match sort of like the character's tone to the wardrobe. And so I think that's probably why Mrs. White was in black for sure.
Yeah,
and he mentioned Mrs. Scarlet specifically because she's in green instead of red, but somehow there's still the same richness and I don't know. I think they did a really good job with the wardrobe, specifically like Mrs. Peacock, the feathers in the hair. Even though they weren't peacock feathers, it just kind of it went so well with Eileen Brennan's performance.
Yeah,
another classic.
Madeline Kahn did say that when she got her costume, she felt like Judy Garland. And it inspired her to play kind of that like Judy Garland, like
that explains a little more the doe-eyed aloofness too.
Yes.
Huh.
Well, you mentioned Eileen Brennan, who plays Mrs. Peacock, a legend of cinema.
She, I think, delivers one of the other best performances in it. Even though she annoyed the crap out of me as a kid, even now, she's so stinking good in the movie.
Yeah. She is probably most famous from The Sting, or Private Benjamin.
Private Benjamin.
Yeah. One of the interesting things because I don't really know Eileen Brennan that much, but one of the interesting things that I found is that she is in 2 other murder mystery films. I pulled them because I own them.
One of them is one of my all-time favorite movies, Murder by Death, which I knew before Clue. And I always thought Clue was sort of an homage to Murder by Death, not the Parker Brothers game, which I didn't realize. I love that movie with a passion because it's the same formula as this one. You get a bunch of ginormous, insanely talented people in a room together and just watch the magic happen. And it's the same kind of old house. Brandon, I know it's not 85, but I would love to watch that movie and review it with you somehow.
1976, when we do that year, we can do Murder by Death.
Sweet.
But Eileen Brennan also appears in this other detective film, The Cheap Detective.
So they're both in it together.
Himself?
Yes. both Peter Falk and Eileen Brennan are in this movie. They are both written by Neil Simon, and they are both directed by Robert Moore.
Yep.
So I just think it's interesting that Eileen Brennan also is in Clue. Like that could not have been, that wasn't lost on the filmmakers.
No, I think that was adding credibility to their project. Like,
so
we're already used to seeing this person in this environment. You'll go along with it.
I haven't seen either of these films, but I'm looking forward to checking them out.
What?
I got a lot of movies, Jay.
Yeah,
I got a lot of movies to watch.
A lot of movies and a lot of goats.
Yeah. I don't know if people know that. I do have goats. I live on a farm, and I have 45 wonderful goats.
That's the right amount of goats. Justin says Cleese would have done just as good, but in a different way. I agree with that.
Yeah, it's a completely different attitude.
I think it would have been more chaotic. It would have been more crazy chaotic, whereas I feel we had a calm chaotic.
Yeah.
Instead.
So this is what I was going to bring this up too. The John Cleese role in Rat Race, the remake of Mad, 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 Mad World. That's sort of what I was picturing.
Yeah, I think John Cleese maybe would have yelled a little bit more. He has got a good comedy yell.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have pulled off that no as well. It would have been different.
Exactly.
No.
The charisma's not quite the same. Tim
No.
Curry's charisma is just priceless. Priceless.
Well, moving on to the next superstar and incredible cast member in this film, we have Christopher Lloyd.
Never heard of him.
Christopher Lloyd. He's a little known actor. He has
handsy doctor.
He is
Lloyd,
very handsy.
Christopher Lloyd had a small film in 1985 called Back to the Future. I believe it's the number one film of 1985 or something, if I'm remembering correctly, which came out in the summer of 1985. So Clue came out December 13th, 1985. So Christopher Lloyd is like he's on top of the world. His movie is the biggest movie of all time.
And that was the biggest thing he'd done yet, right? Because some of his other previous things, he wore makeup, like in Star Trek.
Yeah. And I believe he was still on Taxi.
Oh, of course, there was Taxi. Yeah, of course.
I'm curious.
Jonathan Lynn didn't know who he was.
Taxi would have been done by 85, I think. Because Cheers was already on the air in 82.
Oh, 83.
Yeah.
78 to 83. Okay, so Taxi was off the air. But Taxi was another super popular show, and he was a fan favorite character, Reverend Jim.
Jim Ignatowski, absolutely.
Ignatowski.
Yeah. Okay, doke.
What does a yellow light mean?
That is one of the all-time best comedy moments of all comedy.
If people have not seen the Taxi Christopher Lloyd yellow light moment,
Jim gets his driver's license on Taxi.
Yes. Do yourself a favor and watch the clip on YouTube. It is one of the funniest moments in television history. Totally. He is so good. The cast is so good in that show, but in that moment specifically, Tony Danza.
He's so good, but everybody else, Tony and Jeff Conway, and like those, and Mary Lou Henner. No, Mary Lou Retton. No, who is that? Mary
Lou Henner.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
and why am I forgetting the older actor's name?
Judd Hirsch.
Judd Hirsch. Yes.
Yeah. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Such a great movie in comedy.
Do yourself a favor and look up the Taxi Reverend Jim driver's license scene. Incredible. But I mean, Christopher Lloyd. He's not the crazy Doc Brown in this movie. He is also very low key, subdued.
He is a doctor.
When I was watching this, all I could think. Right before the show, I was showing some pictures to a crew member on Late Night Playset in the green room. We were looking at Yellow Car. I was on the Grand Tour, and we were at Waveney Park for Caffeine and Carburetors. This is long, but it all makes sense. It's at this huge old mansion in New Canaan, Connecticut, basically exactly where this story takes place, in the same kind of house that this story Clue takes place in, old-fashioned Tudor. Waveney Park, New Canaan, Connecticut. Look it up. You can see a picture of the house. I was doing an event with Christopher Lloyd. At some point, it was a Back to the Future event many, many years ago, and I was talking to his wife. Oh, where are you from? Some. Oh, I'm from. Oh, I'm from the same area. Oh, Chris grew up in New Canaan. Oh, where? She said, "Do you know Waveney Park?" I said, "Yeah, of course. I used to ride my bike through it on the way to the Y every day." And she said, "Okay, well, that's it." And I said, "What are you talking about?" She said, "That was Chris's house." And I go, "What are you talking about?" And she goes, "Waveney Park. That's Chris's childhood home. That's where he grew up." And I was like, "The mansion?"
Yeah.
And she said, "Yeah. Christopher Lloyd grew up in a house that is exactly like the Clue house. So when he was wandering around, he probably felt quite at home."
Yeah.
I didn't know until this conversation where then Chris came over and explained that he's from oil money.
Oh, wow. I'd never
And
heard
that
that.
his family was insanely wealthy and he did not need to act. So the fact that he applied himself and worked so hard to be one of the best actors of our time, in my opinion, was always very impressive to me. But watching Clue, all I could think of was, this guy's right at home.
Yeah.
That was a long way to go, but I'm going to find a picture of Waveney to show you.
Okay, well, let's. I mean, again, like, there's so many incredible people. I feel like we're like shortchanging these people because it's not like, you know, Brewster's Millions, our last episode. We really only had John Candy and Richard Pryor to explore.
Yeah.
But the list goes on. I mean, the next person on my list is Michael McKean. Michael McKean plays Mr. Green, and I mean, everybody knows Michael McKean from This Is Spinal Tap.
Right? I didn't do it.
He's also in the other A Mighty Wind, Best in Show. What else do I have written down here? Coneheads. I always remember him as the police officer in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. It's one scene. It's one scene,
but for the road.
He's very memorable. This is a film I've never seen, Jay, but I know we will cover it. But Daryl,
dude, I love Daryl so much. You're gonna love Daryl. It's such a great movie.
I can't wait to see Daryl. I've only seen the cover.
There are actually a couple people from Clue in it. Colleen Camp's in it as well.
Yes.
Who played Yvette in Clue. Well, she's never stopped acting. I think she's still alive and still working today. But most recently, I remember her in Entourage. When it doesn't matter. I remember her from Entourage. Look her up if you don't.
But I mean, like, this is another person who has just has their own, you know, legend status. Oh, I can't not mention Better Call Saul. Michael McKean.
Of course.
Plays Bob Odenkirk's brother in Better Call Saul, the prequel show to Breaking Bad, and he is amazing in that show. Like, Bob Odenkirk is fantastic, you know, obviously a much more dramatic role, but Michael McKean is also surprising in seemingly, I would say, a even more dramatic role as Jimmy's brother.
Yeah, because I agree. He was also dealing with all that neurosis stuff too, and his OCD and everything.
Yes. I mean, Better Call Saul is an incredible show in its own right, with it not being connected to Breaking Bad. But Michael McKean is so good in Better Call Saul.
So in all the documentaries and behind the scenes things that you've watched for this episode, was it him that ad-libbed the last line that we get from him? Or do you... Because the director says he doesn't remember it being ad-libbed. He remembers writing it, but he can't remember whether or not he wrote it because it was so good.
That's exactly right. It's the director and writer of the film, Jonathan Lynn, believes that it was written in the script. Michael McKean says that he improvised, I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife.
My last note on here was strong finish. Because it really, at the, you know, the third thing, by the time you're on the third ending, you're kind of like, okay, I get it. And I don't want to say over it, but you're ready for the next thing to move on. And it's just, it's such a strong finish. And then you just credits and we're done. And you leave so satisfied. Satisfied.
Yeah. Freeze frame in credits.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And like, you can see them all cracking up from it. But that's what I loved about the thing all the way through. Mansion? Oh yeah!
Holy smokes!
Right?
It looks like somewhere you'd go to eat on a golf course.
Exactly.
Holy smokes! And that's where Christopher Lloyd grew up.
Yeah. So it's basically the Clue House, right?
Yeah, totally.
Wow. That's
Probably
incredible.
had his own Wadsworth.
Right.
All the way through the movie, his character was always caught with one of the dead, or the people that have been killed.
Yeah.
And he would always say, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, all the way through the movie.
Yeah.
And again, that ending, he says, I told you I didn't do it. At the time he reveals himself, which I love as well.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And it is one of the moments in the movie that maybe ages it a little bit. I mean, the movie is set in 1954, and he's being blackmailed for being gay and working in the State Department. It turns out at the end of one of the endings, he works for the FBI and he's been undercover. So I guess,
and that's why J. Edgar Hoover was calling.
Yes, so I guess he's not gay. I don't know.
Well,
that's its own comedy because J. Edgar Hoover was a cross-dresser, well known too. So.
Oh really? I've never heard that before.
What?
No.
Look it up, everybody. This is not how rumors start. This is like a known thing.
That history may have been erased.
I don't know. I've never heard that.
What?
But he also drops the Clue line. I shot the butler in the hallway with the revolver, and
that's
then peace out with I'm going. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I'm just Googling here, and I Googled J. Edgar Hoover, and the first result is cross-dressing. I'm not the only one. The truth about where did the idea? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff about here. Well, yeah, I think that's real.
Didn't they use Hoover's furniture as the set deck? Is that something I read somewhere when I?
I didn't.
No, it wasn't Hoover. It wasn't Hoover. It was one of the It was one of the presidents, and I can't remember which one now. They used one of the past presidents' furniture as set deck, and I can't remember which one it was now.
Because it fits so well in the mansion.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. I remember that as a fact. You'll have to look it up.
The moment that I always think about Michael McKean too is they're all back in the study and everybody is like sitting down, and he has this moment where he's like trying to sit down and he keeps getting like blocked by somebody else taking the spot, and he ends up like spinning around and making his way all the way around the living room, and then I think that's when he like goes and like leans on the table in the back. And then the table breaks. Great, like physical comedy.
Yep. It was like a subway scene, like somebody trying to find a seat on the subway, and then just all the seats get taken.
Oh, and the bit I always love is after Wadsworth is using Mr. Green as the example, running around saying, and then they killed Mr. Body and put him in the bathroom, and he throws Mr. Green in the bathroom and closes the door. And then you hear a toilet flush sound, and then he comes out of the bathroom
washing his hands.
And then he like throws the paper towel at. I can't remember who he throws it at, but it's a really great like.
But again, in that bathroom as well, the doorway, the entrance to the bathroom is again when he starts shouting and says, "Okay, I am shouting," and he gets all of, and then whatever the candlestick or whatever's above the door just falls down and hits him on the head.
Yes,
pure slapstick.
Yeah, and like that's the energy of the movie is like this running and then bits and then a quick exchange of jokes, and like a big, I think, success of the movie's comedy is strictly just people's reactions and the timing of their reactions, because a lot of the time it's not necessarily jokes. Like we use the example, like Madeline Kahn has a joke when she's talking about like how many people she's slept or how many husbands she's slept with. Like that's a joke. But a lot of the comedy just comes from all of these people's reactions and the pace that these people are delivering dialogue and reacting to each other.
The pace was great. The writing was tight. And you're right, it's strangely slapstick in times because it starts like it's seemingly going to be a more serious movie than it is.
Yeah. Well, in one of the whatever ending it is, I think it's ending I guess it's the point before the endings switch. Wadsworth is like throwing Michael McKean, Mr. Green, all over. He's representing Mr. Body dying in the study, and then pulls him out into the the hall and then takes him into the bat. Like, he's throwing Michael McKean everywhere, right? Will you stop it? Right? It's just, it's incredible. It's a dance.
Yeah. The choreography is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons the movie works, I think.
Yeah. Totally. Anything else on Michael McKean?
Hello. Just love him so much.
Yes.
Clue is certainly one of the best movies based on a board game, but it's no Ouija shark.
Don't forget about Battleship, hey weirdos.
Such a tragic character in Better Call Saul. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Laverne and Shirley. Hello. Yeah, exactly.
Well, let's move on to Martin Mull, Colonel Mustard. He has his own sense of humor in the film. I think he's not as high. He's not as high energy as the other characters. Martin Mull is a person that before Clue, the only thing I really knew Martin Mull from was Jingle All the Way.
Oh, no Roseanne for you?
No. No, okay. I never watched Roseanne. I watched a little bit of Sabrina. I remember him from Sabrina growing up, the Teenage Witch. But he was always, Jingle All the Way is one of my favorite movies, unironically, ever. I love that movie so much. I watched it so much as a child. So he's the radio DJ in Jingle All the Way, and then he's Colonel Mustard. Like, that's what he is to me growing up is Clue and Jingle All the Way.
Watching it last night, he was one of my favorite characters. I enjoyed the subtle nuances to his performance.
Yeah. He's got a great physical bit where he's looking around the kitchen and he spots a cabinet. Like, it's masterful. The way he's like looking around the kitchen, you clock him catching the cabinet and going over to open it, and he opens it so fast, and the ironing board falls and hits him right in the head. But it's
at like Peter Griffin speed. It's like faster than human rate of speed. The way he opens it and it hits him.
Yeah, exactly.
Cartoon
it's like a cartoon.
Up.
Totally. Yeah. It comes out at him so fast.
And he just stays there, and it just.
Yeah, it is.
He holds the position. Perfect. It's great.
It is a perfect physical comedy bit, and could easily be an example in like a master class of showing somebody physical comedy. Just the timing that he takes to look at the cupboard and inquisitively think, I'm going to investigate, and no dialogue. Like, he's doing all of this with his face and his eyes, and then the payoff is he opens it so fast to try to like surprise whoever is hiding in that cabinet, and the ironing board comes and hits him so hard so fast.
But what about the cook? And I don't know about you guys, but I don't know if that was a real body that they were dragging around or if it was a dummy of some sort, because they were when they bring her into the study and drop her on her face, holding her legs, you're like, wow, is that actually the lady that's playing the character?
I think it is the actress, yeah.
Wow.
I really do.
Yeah, she got manhandled.
There was a lot of Weekend at Bernie's in this movie, I noticed, too, you know? With the dead bodies and all.
The making out in front of the cop?
Yes.
There's
nothing illegal about any of this. Just having a good time.
Yeah, Mrs. Peacock is hiding behind the curtains with her arms around the ship.
Holding the eyes open.
Yes. And I think Colonel Mustard is holding the eyes open of the ship.
So good.
What is I wrote it down because it's one of my favorite bits with I think it's Mr. Green takes him into the study where all of this is happening. They're pretending to be, making out with the dead bodies. And the officer says, like, there's nothing illegal about any of this. And then Mr. Green says, are you sure? And it's like, it's such a great little bit. I feel like, Martin Mull, I have to shout out Arrested Development. If you guys are
my gosh, of course, I forgot the Private Eye.
Yes, Gene Parmesan.
Oh, wow.
Classic Martin Mull.
I always liked that so much because of how the mom would react. She would scream every time,
Jessica Walters. Yeah. So excited every single time.
I like the awkward silence after. I think he told them he came into his money through an inheritance when he lost his mummy and daddy, and he does the line "mummy and daddy," and they all stop and look at each other, and that's it. Just an awkward silence.
Yeah,
that bit cracked me up.
Well, and that's another example of like he brings a different sense of humor to the film, because he's not doing the Tim Curry fast talking, taking control of everything. He's not doing the Michael McKean, like can't find a seat. He's not doing the sort of aloof thing that Madeline Kahn is doing. He brings a different flavor, mustard in this case, to the film.
but the thing is, they all do, and that's what's so beautiful about this movie is every single one of them has their own style and personality that works.
Yeah,
and I think that's why this movie works so well.
Yeah, Leslie Ann Warren plays Miss Scarlet, and she's incredible.
I was taken with how much I liked her performance last night. I mean, she's beautiful, she's sexy, of course, but she's so dryly funny, and the Watch It Buster and all that. I mean, just there's so much good stuff. And how she, Christopher Lloyd palms her butt in the beginning, and she just gives him a look. She doesn't even swat his hand away or anything. It kind of, lets you know what her character's going to be.
All the way through, his hands are just on her butt, and she's always giving him that look. Even when they run into the kitchen to find the cook.
Yeah, you're
on the way in. You can see her look around, and like there he is again. But that was his character. That's why he was disbarred.
Yes, well, I mean, he was being blackmailed for sleeping with a patient.
Yeah.
At some point, she explains who she is and that she's sort of the Hollywood madam of the time and whatever, the New England madam of the time. And he just comes over, gets his little notebook. He goes, "What's the number?"
Yes, I know. Yeah.
And again, like when you watch it back again straight away, you see the way that they all react to each other when they first see each other the first time. But you don't pick up on any of that, and that's what's so genius about it.
The ones who recognize each other and the ones who pretend not to.
Yeah. Especially Yvette and Mrs. White. When they first clock eyes, there's such a hatred there.
And then when Yvette's much,
she's trying to dish out the brandy, which again, watching this movie made me crave brandy. But when they're giving out the brandy in the glasses, she goes up to Mrs. White. They look at each other, and she just avoids her and walks around her.
Another time the whole room started laughing out loud, and it was just a physical joke, but I think I liked it as a kid too, was when Colonel Mustard wants a drink, so he pours himself a brandy or a cognac or whatever it is. And then he goes, "Anybody else want a drink?" And they all say yes, so he just kind of over 3 glasses.
Yeah. And they're all just picking up their glasses and they're dripping off the end and wiping their fingers.
Yeah. It doesn't mean anything, and I don't even know if it was written or if he just did it, but it always tickled me as a kid, and then the whole room all laughed at it the other day too.
Yeah, I mean, this movie is chocked full of bits. It is wall to wall energy, wall to wall bits, and it is a rockin' good time.
Yeah. I was taken. I could understand. It was like a cartoon to me, where like it was clearly written for adults, but there was so much stuff for the kids to laugh at and to latch on to that it was probably like good for the whole family. I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, I mean,
much
when
like
I was
a Parker
watching
Brothers board game.
Exactly. When I was watching it younger, it was just the energy that was always brought me back to it. Mm-hmm. There's lots of stuff that like I don't even remember the lines of dialogue specifically, and it is kind of a hard movie to quote because everything's so fast and it's a call and response a lot of the time. But the energy of the movie, the pacing of it, the how much fun it is to ride, like movies as a ride, to start, learn all the information, and then take it through to the end. It's always the thing that's what's kind of brought me back to Clue every single time. And
the score works for it too, perfectly.
Yeah, we haven't even really touched on it. I mean, we're not finished the actors, but the score is so bouncy and fun and mysterious, and it's got it's got everything that it needs, and it's a great movie.
I agree with the score, but the running around music is still my favorite. I love all that.
And I know we were picking on Mr. Body for not being the best.
Sorry, Mr. Body.
but his run was terrible. Did you not notice that? When he runs to the conservatory, his arms are hanging down. He don't move.
He's a punk rocker, dude. He doesn't have to run. He's a fighter.
In the documentary, the director talked about how he's like, look, I gave the pop star the smallest role you could give a pop star.
Like, that was Jonathan Lynn's diplomatic answer in talking about Paramount having to cast or forcing him to cast leaving.
Yeah, and when you said request before, I think it was a little more mandatory than just request. It was like a stipulation.
Yes. Yeah, they were voluntold.
The other interesting thing related to Miss Scarlet is that it was actually originally cast as Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, that was news to me. I didn't know that.
And Carrie Fisher was Miss Scarlet right up until rehearsals. And she didn't show up for the first bout of rehearsals. And she called Jonathan Lynn and said that she was in rehab for drug addiction. But she was going to still do the movie because she'll come out during the day. She just has to go back to rehab at night. And everybody was on board. And it just...
Not the studio.
Except for the insurance company who was like, we're not going to bond her. You can't bond somebody like that.
The studio head was on board, but yes, insurance was the reason why they had to recast Carrie Fisher with Leslie Ann Warren.
And I'm thinking that no matter what the true story is, this is the story that everybody will stick by.
Yes.
Yeah, it was fine with all of us, but the insurance company said no.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Carrie Fisher would have been good. For some reason, I imagine Carrie Fisher more as a Mrs. White, though, as opposed to a Miss Scarlet.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. Did anybody see The Burbs? I love The Burbs so much. And she was Tom Hanks' wife in The Burbs.
Yes,
and I just
love it.
Yeah, at the time, though, when you think about it, she was just coming off of Return of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, 1983.
So she would have filled that role of the sexy, flirtatious, but very clever person that Scarlett is. I think she would have fitted it.
Yeah, she now that you say that, I can see her at the end, at her ending when Miss Scarlet has revealed the revolver and I did it for this. I can see Carrie Fisher delivering all of that wonderfully.
I tend to agree with Steve on that one. Like, she was so sexy is not just the right word. There's some sort of energy with her at the time. And I think that we're attaching to the tragedy of Carrie Fisher, thinking like, oh, yes, well, she'd probably be better off as Mrs. White. But, yeah. I mean, I'm new to the Star Wars movies, but I was taken with her in the first two.
Yeah, and I think that was her whole life, right? Is that everybody, it sounds terrible when you say everybody wanted her, but she was the sex symbol at the time after that point. And I think that's what Miss Scarlet is. It's that you look but don't touch, and that flirtatious kind of, you want it, but you're not going to get it type.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think of Leslie Ann Warren. I think of Clue almost every time. What else would we know her?
I have Victor and Victoria.
Oh, of course. Yep.
Yeah. But honestly, Leslie Ann Warren, Clue is the movie that I know her from. Desperate Housewives, but I never watched that. She was only on a couple episodes of that.
That's hilarious. That's the street from Burbs. That's funny.
Yes. Yeah, true. Exactly.
Colonial Street.
Yes. Wisteria Lane. And then we got Colleen Camp, who plays Yvette.
Most changed since graduation, Colleen Camp.
Yeah.
And again, such amazing lines in the movie that just make us remember her character so much, right?
Yeah.
I didn't remember as a kid her dropping the accent when she comes into the room.
Yeah.
I was taken with that last night. I was like, oh my gosh. So who do you think she was talking to? Who was the male voice?
I watched that scene 3 times because I think that they use 2 voices to throw you off.
2 different male voices.
Yes, I think that there is 2 voices that say each line of dialogue.
And I gotta check that out.
I was trying to see if I could figure out who the voice is.
I landed with Tim Curry, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I have, now that I have all these notes, I actually do want to watch the movie again because I've written down all the breakdowns of the endings and everything just to just to process it for this show. But I definitely think I want to rewatch it again with all of this in mind.
Out of the 3 endings we had Miss Scarlet, and who else? Who
Mrs.
else was
Peacock.
So it was 2 women and 1 guy.
Well, ending C, famously, everybody kills everybody.
Right. So then, who would it? Was she talking to the murderer at this point, or was she just talking to somebody? I mean, obviously she gets killed, right? So
that is the hard part about discussing this movie. I think it is very dense, and because we have the multiple endings, it's really hard to kind of.
But I think I can help there. If this film was filmed for the multiple endings and every scene was methodically put out there to work, then that would mean it would be Tim Curry, because he was the 4th one that wasn't used. He was the murderer. So if that is the case, then that would make sense why that was the voice we hear. Because the 4th one wasn't used. They didn't like it. And that was supposed to be Tim Curry.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of alluded to these multiple endings. Because again, we have not even finished the main cast of this movie. It is insane. It's unbelievable.
Hour and 20 in already.
And I don't really think we need to worry about like the plot. We've kind of hit most of the plot. Plus, honestly, if you haven't seen Clue, go check out Clue.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't put the spoiler alert up at the beginning of the show.
We've officially decided that these movies are 40 years old.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you guys on that, 100%.
We're discussing these movies. No spoiler warning whatsoever. Sorry, but what were we so we haven't really talked about the endings, but the 3 multiple endings, the first one is, yes, Mrs. Scarlet is kind of the mastermind, and she's kind of done all the murders. Ending B is Mrs. Peacock did all the murders. And then ending C is everybody committed a murder. And then Wadsworth is actually Mr. Body, and he's blackmailing everybody. Then Mr. Green is the FBI agent. But what Steve was alluding to is there was a 4th ending that they shot where Wadsworth poisoned everybody. Wadsworth committed all the murders, I believe. And then they all are like, well, we're witnesses to these murders. And he says, well, no, because you're all going to die in the next 3 minutes because I poisoned you. And there's no antidote.
It's a little dark for a family board game.
Yeah.
Nobody gets out alive.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't remember what we were talking about. I'm so lost out. There's been so much all over the place in this.
Oh, we were talking about the mystery voice in the room before.
Oh, that's right.
Killed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I see the point that you're saying is that it potentially is Wadsworth, but I am definitely going to rewatch Clue, just with all of this discussion in my head, because I think it will make the movie different for me watching it again right away.
Well, you'll be a little detective. You've got your little clues to go find now. Yeah. That's be fun.
Well, and truthfully, another fun part of the movie is like you could pick a single character to track throughout the whole movie, which might in its own way kind of be a fun experience. Yes, you have to watch the movie, 6 times, 7 times. But could you imagine, like, locking on to Miss Scarlet and then just and keeping your eyes on her every single scene, and then being able to, like, notice, oh, she's not here, or she's looking at this person at this moment.
You know, you guys mentioned when they're running room to room and how some people aren't there and it's intentional or whatever. The only time I noticed it, and I think it's because we were supposed to notice it, is at the end during the runarounds when Wadsworth stays in the study and shows up in the kitchen because he uses the secret passage. They all run. He says, blah, 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 to the kitchen, and they all run out, and he just watches them go and then turns around and goes to the painting.
Yeah.
Is that the only time we actually see someone stay behind, and it because as part of the setup? The rest is all subject.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so. Like I said,
the rest you'd have to pick up on it or know what to look for.
Yeah.
Man, you're right, Brandon. Now you're making me want to watch it again.
Yeah.
And then the best part about this movie, even with 3 endings, the runtime's like 80 minutes. It's not a commitment at all.
87 minutes with 3 endings.
So cool.
Let's finish up these actors, and then we can move on to some other stuff. So last but certainly not least is Colleen Camp. We started talking about her. lots of boob jokes in this movie. Like it is chock full.
She played the French maid, and her boobs were definitely out.
Yes.
So,
not forgetting the panty flash.
That's true. Yes, there is that as well.
Oh, that's right.
Colleen Camp. I don't know if people remember this, but she is in Wayne's World. Did you guys know that?
She's in everything. I don't think there's an actor in this movie who's worked more than Colleen Camp.
I'm trying
to remember who she was. She wasn't.
She is Mrs. Vanderhoff. She is.
Oh my lord!
Yes. Yeah. She has all the ideas. One day I just said, what does she say? And she's the one who came up with the name Noah's Arcade. I just opened my mouth and it came out.
Wow.
It's Brian Doyle Murray's wife, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's great. I mean, like she I think has a hard role because she has to do that fake accent, and I think people pick up on it and they're confused by it until they get an answer. But that's far into the movie.
For me, French maid, she should be French. It's whether it's a put on or not, it went with the character for me, so I never questioned it. Like the outfit and the voice matched for me.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I'm being subjective, it's not the best accent, but
so I thought maybe that was part of it. Maybe that was intentional.
Well, I
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's intentional in the fact that she is playing a role and in secret. But I think that some people don't. Because her accent is so bad until you get an answer as to why her accent is so bad. I think it turns people off.
You write her off. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the funny, again, it was funny as a kid and it was funny as an adult with, where's the restroom? Is there a restroom in the hall? Wee man.
Yeah.
No, I just want to go powder my nose.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Yeah.
The best one for me, I think, was when she grabs the revolver to unlock the door and just stands there and blasts it 2 times, and then it cuts back to Colonel Mustard going, "I'm shot! I'm shot!" That one cracked me up. I love that one. The door is open.
And then just to round it off, the police officer is played by Bill Henderson. He's in City Slickers and in Buckaroo Banzai, but was a jazz musician as well. The singing telegram girl is played by Jane Weidman. She's famously from the Go-Go's, the group. Fantastic band. Love the Go-Go's. But also, she is Joan of Arc in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Oh.
And that is a performance that I think is so underrated. She is so funny and so good as Joan of Arc in Bill and Ted. And she plays the singing telegram girl with one line of dialogue.
That also is one of the funniest sight gags in there.
I
so great.
You're singing telegram. It's great.
So great. That's right up there with the when Indiana Jones, the guy with the sword, and he just pulls the revolver out because he had dysentery. He's like, I'm not dealing with this. And then the only other person who rings the doorbell is.
Oh no! There's another guy.
Apparently, we're gone.
There's 2 more, huh?
Apparently, the connection's lost.
Oh, interesting. Says we're still alive here. Same here.
Yeah.
Connection's lost?
Weird. But they're still able to...
Oh, it's just a spinning circle. Ali's just showing me now.
Oh, is it the same on Facebook, I wonder?
I don't know. I'm getting the spinning circle, too.
On Facebook or on...
Well, we're still recording, so we can always upload it after, but...
I think it's back. Maybe people need to just refresh.
Because we can't... I think there's one more that I've been waiting for you to tell me about, especially in this year more than any year.
Yeah.
There was another.
That's why I saved him. I saved him for last.
But what about the chief or the FBI director or the guy with the crazy tie, the boss at the end?
Oh, I guess we can talk about it. But I was saving Jeffrey Kramer for last.
Okay, all right.
The motorist.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Kramer.
Where do we start? Anybody know him personally?
Well, I think somebody in the bottom corner knows Jeffrey Kramer personally. But I will say Jeffrey Kramer if people didn't recognize him, he is from Jaws.
He's the deputy from Jaws.
Deputy Hendricks.
He was my boss for a bunch of years
No way.
at David E. Kelly. He was number 2 at David E. Kelly. He was a vice president.
Wow.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
I'm just going to update the chat really quick, just so people know that we're still recording.
Oh, thanks. French-made character, I believe.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, all of the stuff we mentioned about the French
Dustin's here. Was that? Facebook is good. Oh, so it must have been a YouTube dropout. There was no issues on Facebook, apparently. Panty Flash, then nothing. Yeah.
Maybe we got demonetized.
Colleen Camp blocked us off of YouTube.
Yeah. I'm just trying to double check here.
He was great. He was great.
Yeah, it still says that we're live. And then it says that we're live, but then it just drops. So
one of the other, just to fill in, but one of the other lines that got me, just the one-off lines, was like, "Can you keep it secret?" He goes, "Yes." He goes, "So can I." And then they just move on, and it's so good. I love that one.
That is the unveil. That is Colonel Mustard when it's unveiled how he actually made all his money with the war profiteering, stealing radio parts. Yeah. And you keep it secret.
Yes.
Back to Jeffrey Kramer just for 1 second. It wasn't until last night's viewing that I ever noticed. Do you know the part where they're throwing the blackmail materials into the fire, the tapes and the whatever? Did you notice that the photograph is a picture of Jeffrey Kramer?
No.
It's plain as day, and I'd never seen it on a big screen or with the quality that we have today, but it's plain as day. It was him that they were throwing into the fire, whatever those materials were. And then right after that, he goes, "I'm in this hotel or this old house with these people, and I think I just saw my old boss," or whatever he says.
That's your line now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's Jason. I think I just saw my old boss.
Totally true.
Yeah.
What I would like to know is how a New Englander from, he was famously from, I want to say Amity Island, from Martha's Vineyard. And that's how he got in the movie Jaws. I wonder how the hell he got to be an executive at David E. Kelly. I've never known the story there.
Sorry, I'm trying to, really quickly here, trying to get people the link to the Facebook.
Everything's gone really fuzzy for me here, looking at the screen. Everyone's really fuzzy and blurry.
I will tell you that everything's 5x5 here in the studio. We've got full everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes it's a YouTube issue. But regardless, we'll put it up afterwards. We'll put it up.
Yes, I'm just for the people that want to watch. Let's see here. Sorry, just give me 2 minutes.
Steve, are you in Canada as well?
No, I'm in Los Angeles.
Oh, whereabouts?
I'm in the valley. I'm in the valley.
Well, we did this wrong. Me too.
Yeah.
But since we're doing this, why don't we plug your show, Steve?
We also do reviews of 80s and 90s classic nostalgia-filled movies on the Generation X-Wing podcast.
Generation X-Wing?
Generation X-Wing. We used to just primarily do podcasts, which we record on Thursdays, and now we started doing them live as well. So Thursday nights we'll record a couple of episodes, and there's 4 of us, and one of us will pick a movie that we want to see if we get the nostalgia feels back and how it rates now we're watching it again, and give it our marks out of 10. So we have one coming up tomorrow, as we mentioned earlier.
Wow, what movie is tomorrow?
We are doing Inner Space tomorrow.
Inner Space.
Absolute classic.
Is that the one with Martin Short?
Martin Short,
Dennis Quaid, and Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
Wow, that was one of Nicole's all-time favorite movies. Wow.
Yeah, it used to be one of mine too. So it's interesting to go back and watch it again. So yeah, tune in live tomorrow, 7:00 PST, Generation X-Wing podcast.
Great name.
YouTube is completely gone. I've just shared the link to the Facebook live stream in that chat. And we'll just continue on and just finish up this episode and then upload it later.
I can't even read the stuff on the screen right now; it's that blurry.
Yeah, I think that's just a preview of the stream itself. If I look at the Facebook is still good. I can see it clearly. So
I'm amazed that we survived a flood and a blackout earlier, and now seems like absolutely nothing is taking us off the air.
Well, all we need now then, Jay, is an earthquake just to round it up.
Yeah, except where we are, they happen all the time. So that's a very plausible ask.
I know.
Have it on VHS in front of me. I love it.
Yeah. Is there any? I mean, we should talk about the release of the film. Because we've been alluding to all of these 3 endings, and it was the big marketing campaign behind the release of this film, is that this film was going to have multiple endings, and it mattered where you saw it.
Yeah.
Do you happen to have those things that I sent you, Jay?
Yep. What do you want first?
Could you play that, maybe just play that trailer? That would be fun.
Oh, interesting. I thought I just had pictures. You're right. Huh.
Yeah, one of them should be I believe it's a 30-second trailer.
No.
Well, there's the poster. There's the image.
I might have done this wrong. Maybe I didn't do the. I don't.
Well,
think
that's okay.
I have a...
Let's go to the black and white image poster. That will be fine too. The next one there. So that I can't really read it, but that particular image, it says right along the top, I believe it matters.
A comedy with 3 different endings.
Yes.
Who done it depends on where you see it.
And then at the bottom of this image, it shows the theaters that lists ending A, ending B, and ending C.
So this is the mistake.
They were advertising all 3 endings playing at different theaters, and people felt duped.
Yep.
People felt like they were being tricked.
Spend more money,
not getting a complete movie, and yes, having to spend more money to go and see the movie again. And in their defense, they thought that the movie was so much fun that people were going to want to go back and see it a second time.
Yeah.
I think
and the genius behind the movie was what we saw on VHS. Jay, when was the first time you watched it? In the cinema or on VHS?
No, it would have been VHS or home release somehow, because it had all 3 endings. But I I always thought that it was just a grab bag. You went and saw the movie, and then you got, depending on which reel they decided to put on, you got a different ending. I didn't know that you could go. This is a disaster, because you're sort of telling somebody you have to come see our movie 3 times. I would definitely go see something else.
Yeah, and
that's a marketing fail, in my opinion. Not a movie fail.
I watched the Siskel and Ebert on this movie as well. And one of the interesting points that they made is that when they showed the film to the critics, they played all 3 endings. And in the Siskel and Ebert, they call that the home video release will have all 3 endings. And that's when they added that's how it could have happened, but here's how it really happened. Those title cards were all for the TV and the home release of the film.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, and that's why it didn't do great on release, right? Because you don't see the genius behind the movie unless you get all 3 of those and understand that the way it was filmed was genius. And I think that's how it didn't get the critical acclaim it should have got, to be fair.
Sorry, just the glitch. Still just trying to figure that. Anyway,
you're such a man of the people, Brandon.
I just want people to be able to watch the show. I think if you think about it too, like ending B is the weakest. That is the Peacock ending. So if you went and saw this movie and you just got ending B, it's really unsatisfying.
Yeah.
Without ending C, you don't get the I'm going to go home and sleep with my wife and the freeze frame and all of that. Without ending A, you don't get that Miss Scarlet moment, right? She really sells that ending. And I think, it was a mistake, and it really affected the film negatively.
Yeah.
The film opened up number 6 in the box office and only made $2 million its opening weekend off a $15 million budget. And then week 2 dropped to spot number 12. Like it really did not resonate.
That's a big faux pas.
Yeah.
These are back in the days where they didn't make as many movies too. So I mean, that's like it's probably 12 of 12.
Yeah. What's the release here? I have it written down here. December 13th, 1985.
That's a tough time to open a movie too. That is like the worst possible time to open a movie. The next week, yes. The previous week, yes. Not that week.
Was it though that everyone would then run out and buy Clue as a board game for Christmas for the kids and the family?
Oh, probably. Oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that. The kids are going to love it. Everyone, the Clue.
Yeah, everyone's going to want the board game now because they want to be those characters.
I bet you're right. Especially with the Parker brothers having the back end deal.
Mm-hmm. It was always called Cluedo in the UK when I had it.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing, and you have that perspective because it was a different supplier. Parker Brothers owned the rights for the US. It was another board game company that owned Cluedo, the original, and had developed the original version of Clue in the UK.
Was it MB Games?
Yeah, I can't remember, but you're probably right. And then it became Clue in America, North America, under the Parker Brothers. But they really tried. And when you first think about it, you think it's cool. Multiple endings in a movie. I think it maybe would have been better if it was a secret. If they didn't advertise which endings.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
In hopes that people would be talking about it later.
That's what I thought happened.
Yes.
I thought somebody went to school the next day and said, "Oh, that was great. It was Mrs. Peacock." I go, "Oh, what do you mean it was Mrs. Peacock? It was Wadsworth, whatever."
Exactly.
Yeah, because we all like that reveal of we don't. It's like the blind box. You don't know what you're getting. So
you create the happening.
Yes.
Which one did you see? Did you see the one with this ending? No, I had a totally different one. What was your ending? Oh, now I want to go and see that one.
Right, that gets you back to the theater.
Yes.
Then you go back and spend the money because you want to see that ending.
Yeah.
If you don't know what the ending is, why would you go back again to try it one more time, right?
So silly.
Well, actually, the write-up on the back of the VHS, it has at the very bottom, it has, here's the mysteriously funny movie based on the world-famous Clue, yada, yada, yada. You'll love the dastardly doings on as the bodies and the laughs pile up before your eyes. And then the very last line, spaced separately, is featuring all 3 surprise endings. I don't know if that will show up.
Yep, there it is.
Featuring all 3 surprise endings.
3 is
italicized.
Yeah. Which means it's special, right?
Yeah, so you know it's good. Exactly.
So ultimately, like a failure at the box office for that reason.
Yeah.
I mean, Siskel and Ebert both didn't like the movie, which, again, similarly to Brewster's Millions, is, I think, with separation of time, it becomes a cult classic, and it becomes a legacy picture. But at the time, when it was like the current thing, it's like, whatever, like something else will come out. And people had just seen Back to the Future, so they had higher expectations, maybe. Like,
I was going to say, this is a tough time to put out a movie that isn't stellar, because the last 2 years have had stellar movies.
Yeah.
The last several years, really. The whole 70s into the 80s, we're making great movies. So if your movie wasn't perfect in 85 with the perfect marketing, everything...
Yeah,
hard
once
to be
it's gone, it's gone, right? Because even if you find out more about it after the fact and say, really, that was the case? Oh, I didn't know. By that time, you're just waiting for it to come out on VHS. And I believe, Brandon, you probably got facts and stats, but after VHS dropped, didn't it start gaining its popularity and make a comeback?
Not really. It didn't make the money that it maybe should have made, but it gained the popularity.
Yeah.
Clue is a cult movie. There is big supporters. It actually has been taken up by the queer community. They love Clue. There is queer screenings of Clue all over the world.
That's cool.
So they there's lots of fans out there.
God, I'd love to watch a shadow cast of Clue. If they did the same as they do with Rocky Horror, that would be so good.
Oh, that is a great idea. It probably has been done, maybe more locally, but that would be so much fun.
It's the perfect kind of movie to do that too, because there's so many parallels with Rocky Horror. Not just Tim Curry, the old mansion, the ensemble cast, really good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the trailer that we had, I just ripped it from YouTube, so people can go and look it up. It's like a 30-second trailer. and it ends with the same line that's on the poster. I just like that it says it matters where you see it. Right? They were really trying to intrigue people with this multiple endings.
Well, but you know what else this shows me, and it shows that it's different than what I had originally thought. It shows me that basically they only sent a specific reel to specifically.
Yeah.
Like I thought the place could decide, oh, tonight we're doing this one, and then the next show we'll do the next one, and they could pick which reel they wanted to roll.
Yeah.
I didn't realize like whatever print they got is what they played. I mean, that's just such a shitty idea. I can't even. There's so many flaws in that idea. It's ridiculous.
It's a really interesting idea because you think that it's a good idea, but then when you actually think about it,
right,
it's not a great idea.
No.
And it was I think it's the ultimate demise of the film in 1985, and it has nothing to do with the cast and the directing of the film. It's just strictly that marketing campaign, and the idea did not work.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've pretty much covered it. It was all over the place. We didn't really hit the plot in the same way that we hit it on Brewster's Millions, but I think that's okay. Go check out Clue. If you've made it this far in the episode and you've never seen it, it is so much fun, and it's totally worth your time. You're 87 minutes.
Another one I'm just looking at like notes I made for like funny moments and stuff. When right before they do the walking around and this is how they did it. There's a scene where the remaining alive cast is walking around room to room very slowly and defeated. And they just look at it like, oh yeah, there's another one there. Oh, okay. Go over here like, oh yeah, there's another one over there. Okay. Open the front door. Yeah, there's 3. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And something about the way they all, everything's so manic and hyper the whole time. The dichotomy of everybody just crestfallen and exhausted walking around.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite setups, which tees up that finale with all the energy again. Like when you go to see a concert, like they can't keep the energy up the whole time. They have to figure out ways to sort of do the roller coaster. I thought that was an awesome device. The music was
I may have mentioned already, but do you guys know where the endings switch? Do you know what the moment is?
What do you mean?
Where does each ending switch? It switches at the exact same time in all 3 endings.
Is it when he starts telling them how it all happened?
Nope, because Wadsworth pulling Mr. Green around is technically every single ending. So one of the things that if in the DVD or the Blu-rays, you can actually watch the version with a surprise ending. So you can watch the whole movie, and then it will just give you a surprise ending.
Like we were talking about, yeah.
That's how we thought it was at the theater.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, that ending switch is when Wadsworth turns out the lights. The blackout in the movie is where every single ending switches. So if you watch it as a surprise ending, or if you were in 1985 watching it in the theater, that's where the reel would switch, or that's where the ending switches. So,
it's the opposite to Star Tours when they change the next scene. They give you a flash.
Yes.
This one they give you darkness.
Darkness, yes. But it's a great way to do it. It's like when you watch a movie that says it's all one take, like 1917 or Birdman. There is moments where they do cut, and it's usually darkness. They pan over a dark door, or they go over something. They cut in the dark.
Now, Brandon, I don't know if you passed over this because we went through so much, obviously, but did you mention about the DP? That's one note that I wrote down there.
Yeah, we should. We did not talk about Kemper, Victor J. Kemper, who shot Pee-wee's Big Adventure. What else? Tommy Boy, The Jerk with Steve Martin, Xanadu with Olivia Newton-John, one of my favorite films, and The Lonely Guy, which is, I think, an underappreciated Steve Martin, Charles Grodin vehicle. Incredible cinematography. Those are just a few of his credits. Victor Kemper. And this movie looks incredible for being a series of blacks and browns. It's awesome, and it looked so good with my 4K. I know you had mentioned it with your copy on Apple TV, Jay. but this 4K looked amazing.
Yeah, it did look great, but I don't know that it was 4K like yours. I don't know. I'd have to check that.
Which version do you have, Steve?
That's exactly the same one you held up.
Oh, you have the 4K as well?
Yeah.
I didn't know you had a 4K player.
I don't, but it comes with the Blu-ray.
Oh.
Dude, I'm always going to buy 4K, regardless of it, because one day I will go out and get myself something to play it on.
Well, famously, like even the Blu-rays put out by these companies like Shout Factory, they're high-quality Blu-rays, and the scan of the film, most of the time they talk about how this one new remastered from a 2023 4K scan of the original camera negative. So they are taking an original negative of the film, putting it through a machine, and digitally scanning at 4K, even higher sometimes, 8K quality, each individual frame of the film, putting that together as a file, and then that is going on the Blu-ray and the 4K discs. So even the Blu-ray version of this 4K release is top notch, and I'm sure it's the same of your digital version, Jay. That's good. Probably that 2023 scan.
Right.
So even on Blu-ray or 4K, the film looks incredible because they've scanned it and preserved that film.
I totally agree with you. For a movie that takes place largely at night and in a dark, old, scary house, it really does look beautiful.
Yeah. There's two more things I want to do here, and then we can do some plugs and wrap it up. I just quickly want to go over the potential remakes that have been talked about in the industry for years.
You were right. It's 4K with Dolby Digital and everything. Yeah.
Okay,
right.
Great. 2008, Gore Verbinski was trying to make a version of Clue. Everyone knows Gore Verbinski from the first Pirates of the Caribbean film. Director of that. 2016, Fox acquired the rights to Clue, and then was between 2016 and 2018 was developing a version of it with Ryan Reynolds and Jason Bateman. In 2019, there was an article that Jason Bateman would write and direct a version of it. Then that sort of went silent, and then the last sort of information that came out was 2020. James Bobbin, the director of Flight of the Conchords, the TV show, and the first two, I believe, Muppet movies. Definitely the first. Sorry, not. I should say the Jason Segel, the 2009.
There we go.
Or 2012 Muppet movies. What? Yeah, somewhere around there. 2012, 2013. That's James Bobbin. That was 2020. He was developing a version of Clue, but there has since been no news of another Clue version.
That was one of my questions to pose to you guys. If they did do a Clue today, who would you cast in any? You don't have to do every single role, but is there anybody that comes to mind for any of the roles? Tina Fey came to mind for me for
interesting.
Mrs. Scarlet.
Oh,
there was something good about the way Leslie Ann Warren was playing it where I go, wow, there's a lot of Tina Fey in this.
Yeah.
For me, I think if we were to have to replace Tim Curry as the butler, I think I'd like to see Matt Berry as the butler.
Oh yeah, that's a very different energy, but would be very very funny nonetheless.
Fun. Yeah.
With a revolver. It was Mr. Grain in the study with the revolver.
It would be so good.
Revolvier.
That's probably the hardest role to recast, isn't it? Because I didn't think about that. That's the hardest.
I could see Berry with that quick mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say I'm not good at that. I'm not good at like dream casting something. I'm a movie watcher, man.
Yeah.
You tell me who's in it, man, and I'll enjoy it. But I think that pretty much wraps up all of the information on Clue. Does anybody have anything else in their notes? I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, no, what is it? Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages in my book on Clue of just notes.
Are they new notes or old notes?
New notes. I was just making sure I had all the information of who was blackmailing who, I have my thoughts. I have the box office stuff. I have the production stuff. All of the endings. I wrote down who killed who and all of the endings, just to make sure I had it all, so I didn't have to like find it. I just wanted to have it all there. But I think we pretty much hit everything.
Yeah, I don't have. I've managed to sneak all my little ones in.
Let's rate it.
Yeah, let's rate it, and then I want to read my letterbox reviews that I found.
Oh, you want to do that first?
Sure, I'll read my letterbox reviews, and then we'll end with a rating, and then we'll do our plugs, and we'll get the hell out of here.
Cool.
So yeah, one of the things I love is I love the app Letterboxd. It brings me so much joy to rate and write my little reviews for movies. But on Letterboxd, you can read other people's reviews, and I find that their reviews are sometimes absolutely hilarious. So here are some of the reviews that I pulled from Letterboxd for 1985's Clue. Reese says, "The people that think Tom Cruise has the best run in Hollywood has obviously never watched Tim Curry's Oscar-worthy running in this film." 4 stars.
And it looks extra good next to Mr. Bodies.
Yes.
Oh my God!
When he does that high run through the hallway.
You have to pump your arms. If you don't pump your arms, you're not running.
Tess says, "I literally almost died trying to internalize my laughter while watching this on a train." 5 stars.
It's funny you bring that up with the pumping of the arms. Another thing I noticed Tim Curry does when he runs around is he takes extra small steps and he lifts his knees extra high, almost like he's running in place.
Yeah.
And it somehow accentuates the cartoony look of everybody running room to room.
It's what everybody does at the crossing when you've only got 10 seconds to get across.
Yes.
Everyone does that.
Pick it up to a jog. Exactly.
Lift your knees and move your arms.
Dom says, "I genuinely can't believe someone made a film based on a board game and thought, fuck it, I'm going to make this the best film ever." But they really did. 4 stars. And then this one is my favorite one from Ethan. It says, "Oops, looked like I watched Clue again instead of chipping away at my watch list of 300 plus movies. What a shame." 5 stars. Yeah, it is a fantastic movie. I don't see what people didn't like about it, but again, it's hard to differentiate with the time. It's like when we have an opinion on a movie that comes out now, right? We're a little bit harder on it because it's the current project, and maybe 10 years from now, 15 years from now, we're going to be easier on that film that we maybe were more opinionated on. And I think that's what we're going to discover with this podcast, is that a lot of these films, if they're not celebrated like Back to the Future or Goonies, we're going to find that they're a lot better than people thought. And there will be duds. You know, I'm not crazy. There'll be bad ones.
I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to that part too, right? It'll be fun to pick some apart.
Yeah. Well, my rating of Clue on Letterboxd was 5 stars with a heart. It is one of my absolute favorite movies of all time, and I have so much fun every single time I watch it, and I look forward to watching it again.
Amazing.
Jay?
Oh, I was going to give it to Steve.
Okay, let's go Steve.
Oh, no. I'll go last.
Okay, perfect. Jay, what's your rating?
I'm going to say 4 stars because I enjoyed the hell out of it, but, you know, there are movies out there like Back to the Future and Goonies. So it gets 4 stars for me, but as you know, that's high praise. That's obviously a very high enjoyment factor. We covered all the reasons why. The cast is spectacular. I like the sets, the cinematography you mentioned specifically. The music is actually hit or miss for me. Like, some stuff I think is perfection, and some stuff, like I made the note in here, is it too synthy? Like, somehow for that kind of old classic movie in 1954, why is there synth? I'm like, yes, I love it, but once I thought about it, I go, I might have made a different choice there. Yeah. So 4 stars, but such an enjoyable experience. I would watch it again.
Yeah. No, that's great. I respect that. And Steve3, what is your...
See, for me, if it is out of 10, it'd be easier. But I think I'll have to go with a 4 for the reasons you just mentioned. Is that I do have ones that are on a much higher pedestal than that. 3.5, I probably would have given it a while ago. But I think the more I watch it, the more I have an appreciation for it. The more I dig deep into it, the more I see how much love was put into making it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it has to get a 4. If it was a 3.75, I think that would be perfect. But yeah, let's go 4.
Well
That's
said,
great.
Steve. I was going to make it 3 stars, but this podcast made me bump it to 4.
Right.
Yeah.
And again,
I enjoyed it more through your eyes.
Yeah. Just the intricacies that go into the making of this. I honestly feel he as a director deserves a lot more credit for what he did and what he was able to create. I really do.
Yes.
And then he went on to do My Cousin Vinny, which is a incredible movie.
Wow. And then he won Oscars. Well, Jesus, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
From his Clue being his first film, he goes on to do My Cousin Vinny. And what else did he?
Steve brought up some really good points there, though. I totally agree. Yeah, and then we can't. It's like I want it to be like Star Search, 3.25 stars.
I know, right? It's like it shouldn't be up there, but it kind of is, because how much enjoyment do we get from watching it again, and how much enjoyment would you actually get for going back and watching it again now after talking about it?
Yeah.
So to me, I think that commands a high. I reviewed this before on our show, and I don't think I gave it as high. Yeah. I can never remember. There's so many, right? But to me, that makes sense. There are so many other movies that are better than this for other reasons.
Yeah.
But you've got to give this movie some credit. It was something that's never been done before. And to me, it's something that's never been done as well in that respect. So,
well said.
Yeah.
Steve, did you see Murder by Death?
I haven't seen it.
Okay.
So maybe we'll have to do a rerun for the old boys.
Well, I mean, obviously it's not the right year for this show, but I love that movie so much, and it's so similar in that it's an all-star cast. Peter Falk, Peter Sellers, you mentioned Eileen Brennan, Truman Capote's in it. Like, it's crazy. Maggie Smith, it's crazy. Sir Alec Guinness.
Oh, that's right,
Crazy cast.
Yeah, it's worth a watch for sure.
Okay. I know what I'm doing
tonight. I think we did it. We skated in just under 2 hours.
Nice.
Incredible. I mean, but this film is dense. You know, we talked about the cast at length, but they all deserve that conversation. And you know, this movie rules. Like it's great.
Yeah.
Brandon, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this before the show. What's the movie for next week?
Oh yeah, okay. we should. You
get to pick it. I'll go with whatever you say.
Well, we sort of had this conversation already, but I think we're going to do National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Nice.
And I'm gonna break into this on next week's episode. This is an original press kit from European Vacation. It's got all these wonderful black and white glossies. It's got a bunch of write-up information about the film, so I'll be delving into this. But yeah, we're going to cover National Lampoon's European Vacation on a Blockbuster Year 1985, and we are going to have a blast doing it, talking about Chevy Chase and Beverly D'Angelo.
And we've got a good lead up already, because you made a post the other day about what's his name? What's the son?
Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty. But what's his real name?
Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah. And then Anthony Michael Hall reposted.
Yeah, he shared
a Blockbuster Year's post.
Yeah, he shared our post the other day, which was great, very cool. The reel that I made was about how we both thought that Anthony Michael Hall was a great guy, and it just proves even more so that he's a great guy. That he shared the post of this startup podcast. So shout out to Anthony Michael Hall. Go give him a follow, and you know, he's a legend.
Maybe he'll be our guest next week.
Yeah, you never know. You never know. Talking about a movie he's not in.
I like this having another person thing. Is that a regular? Should we do that next week too, or are we figuring this out?
Yeah, we can figure it all out. I just knew that Steve wanted to do Clue, and Steve's a great guy. Where can they find you, Steve?
Well, you can find me on Instagram under Shitspackle Muppet Fart for all my costuming activities, and you can also find me on Steve3D for my collecting stuff. You can get me at weekends. Most weekend mornings, it'll either be a Saturday or a Sunday at 10:30. I will be doing unboxings of some of this stuff you see behind me here and Micro Galaxies, trying to bring back those Saturday morning cartoons with a chill coffee and unboxing. And you can also get me, as mentioned before, on Generation X-Wing podcast, where we'll be covering most things from our nostalgia-filled Generation X upbringings, including movie reviews, which we're going to be doing one tomorrow night live at 7 p.m. PST.
Yeah, follow Generation X-Wing. You and Jamie.
Me, Jamie, Rob, and the other Steve. So 2 Steves, a Jamie and a Rob.
Yeah. Well, if people don't know, we refer to Steve as Steve3, and that's because Steve is a member of the 501st Legion, the Star Wars cosplayer group. And you were Steve3 because at the time there was other Steves. There were so many Steves in the group that you became Steve3.
Of 7.
And so we just always call Steve3. That's just what we call him. So if you're like, why is his name Steve3? Yes, we call him Steve3.
Is the 501st so big that if you know someone else in it, you're probably not going to know them, right? Because it's a massive. It's not like just a little club. Yeah.
Oh no, it's worldwide, thousands and thousands of members. But even this is when I was in Canada, because I was in Canada. It's just how I met Brandon.
Yeah.
But now I've recently moved to LA in the last 3 years, so yeah, I've joined it here now and hooked up with the crew here.
Yeah. Well, Steve, we gotta meet each other and
that'd be great.
I'm going to check out your. I want to see some of your shows that you do. I'm going to follow your channel.
Right on. Yeah. Come and drop in on Saturday morning as well if you can't make tomorrow. But yeah.
Yeah, I would love that. Well, yeah, and I definitely want to. If you're ever looking for guests, I love talking about movies.
Well, subscribe to the DL44 network for the weekend stuff and Star Wars content.
Super cool.
I'll let you pick the Instagram ones, Jay, because not everyone jumps on the shit spackled Muppet part to start with. So we'll see.
Yeah, if you noticed in any of the tags, yes, Steve's account is shit spackled Muppet fart, and that is a Deadpool reference.
Ah,
but I love tagging Steve in posts because it's like I gotta type shit spackled Muppet fart.
Yeah, but it was absolutely it was great. It was great coming on. I just want to say thanks for having me on. It's been great. I've loved watching it again. I've loved talking it with you. I mean, you guys have got a lot of knowledge to share too. It's been great. Yeah, thanks a lot. It's been awesome.
You're a pleasure, Steve. Come back anytime.
You're our first guest, and yeah, we can't wait to have you back on.
I'll get up to that studio if the walls are still standing, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you got to go check out David. Right. Go check out David Letterman's desk.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm Brandon. Make sure you follow first and foremost a Blockbuster Year on Facebook, Instagram. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, even though YouTube glitched and kicked our stream out for some reason. Who knows? And then you can find me personally under BC DeLorean. That's all the movie car stuff that I do. And what about you, Jay? Where can we find you?
Late Night Playset is the other show we do here from the Studio 11 here in Los Angeles with the David Letterman set and all. Interesting conversations with interesting people. Instagram, I am Porsche Life 111. Please give me a follow there if you're into whatever it is that we do. It's not just car stuff. It's kind of just, it's my personal account, and you know how it is. Once you change a name and you have your thing and you're verified, you can't make it something else. So I'm stuck with it.
Yeah, imagine being stuck with shit spackled Muppet fart. Really puts things into perspective.
Yeah, that's why
I feel pretty good now. It's not so bad.
I don't get invited anyway.
But yeah, Porsche Life or Late Night Playset. I appreciate any kind of follow you want to give. We're much like this show. We've been doing Late Night Playset for like a bunch of years, but it used to be different. My wife has passed away, and we've changed things around, and we're doing things differently. So we're also kind of figuring it out again. So I like the parallels between this brand new show where we're obviously figuring things out, and then our old tired show where we're refreshing it and figuring things out again. So yeah, thanks. See you there.
Yeah. Thank you to everybody who's watching. Thank you to everybody who's listening on the podcast or watching the replay. Big thank you to Steve for coming and joining us tonight. It's always a blast to hang out with you. And thank you, Jay, for getting all this stuff going, even with the hole in your wall. I look forward to it so much. So
I couldn't agree more, man. I say I gush over you every time, but I love you, and I love doing this with you. So I hope it goes well.
Yeah. I love
Steve,
both you guys
thank
too.
you so much for being here too, man. This was so fun.
Oh. Now that's a comedic awkward silence. It's awesome. I love it.
Well, I think we did it. I think we did Clue, the movie, 1985, and I think we can get the hell out of here and figure out why YouTube kicked us out.
Yes, and we'll upload the file in a little bit.
Yep.
We love you, everybody. Thank you for watching. Back next week with
National Lampoon's European Vacation.
Here on A Blockbuster Year. See you later.
Bye.